Hey y'all, lining up for Mad Monday morning, which, thinking about the first 2 weeks, is going to be absolutely ludicrous. I have tried both. I got ahead of myself, went for the early bonus points, and got comprehensively dropped in both races. I think they're my two worst finishes on Zwift Power in the last month. Uh, Not pretty. So today, I'm going to try and keep my Tinder a little drier and just go for the stage, the overall result. Although, one, it'll be tempting to go for primes, and two, we're going to have to put an effort anyway because they are going to be ramping the pace up that that rise in this course towards the sprint banner. Hey, sure, in your living room. It's pretty cool being connected around the world, suffering at the same time. It's already 129 and the pace still 3 minutes to go. That's going to make it interesting up that hill. We can't all make it. The peloton's going to split for sure. We do have a little chat window that I'm experimenting with, so I don't know, wants to send me a message on Facebook or YouTube. It should pop up. Maybe we'll kind of play with that a bit later. If I've got the wherewithal to do it. Maybe on 100%. Really good AHDR contingent today. I think we got nine riders or so expected out of the 130 that we've got. Chris is asking if 9 laps seem excessive. Oh, I think so. Been 10 times up the hill. It's part of the lead-in, so. Oh, that's a lot. A lot in 40 minutes. See a couple of familiar names now this morning time slot. Some really good series happening on my time. Saturdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays. The Racing Without Borders. We are Endurance League. And Mad Monday. Go. Pretty fancy. Who made that? I'm going to get too far back here, but I'm sure I want to put myself. I'm going to find if you can see the back. Couple spots. Here we go. There we go, to the front here. Sorry, the drop over pressed. Would have been pain. We worth it. We gotta cruise down. There we go. And you want to be right on it. And then 40. There we go. That's about 100, 306. Survive that first hill. It was better attrition. 11 and 12. Pretty good at it. Always amazed by these B plus grade races. Successful, everyone is. They don't split like the normal ones do. Oh, that was my recovery. I feel recovered. I'm not sure. Chris is trolling. Put the wrong sprint times. I mean, that thing's right. I'm getting a long way back down on this hill. You're staying pretty tight, mate. I have to be more watchful this time. I'm feeling good up that hill. Go down next to and 4 of those. Going to be really hard. Fixating out the back here with me. Doesn't feel much the same. Oh, it's been hard already. Feeling yesterday's Crit City race. We had to do some serious chasing. So Darren's off the back. Gonna have a cruise around. Oh, we two of them not careful here. Got some kicker around the corner. No, it made life really hard. It's supposed to be the recovery. 5 black. Gotta get closer with my legs. It's killing me. Oh, this might be it. Oh no. Oh. Ruined. Oh, it's so disappointing. Just to broadcast me instead, yeah. Oh, it's not good. Oh, we don't got video. I can see you now. Prime coming up this lap. Then with Damien. Now he's gone for it in the past. And managed to hold on to a good result, so he might feel confident here. Even on this descent, guys are doing 3.5, 4.5 kilo. Just a relentless pace. It cooked me. Just couldn't get anywhere near the front. But soft pedal or recover it all. And yeah, that leg was a bit fried from yesterday. Trying to sit in on a crit with Nick. I didn't get the live stream quite working. Ended up being a hyper aggressive race. Won the race, but toasted the legs for this, I think. Really short efforts chasing attacks. Damien does look like he's keen for this time, looking at himself right out front. I'm not going to let anyone get the jump on him coming up the hill. Well, the flat sprint, it really is all about that leading hill. Being in the right spot. Then we can get the prime points from 20th wheel going over that crest. You've got to be the best view. Continuing on to the hill now. Got a really tight bunch. These narrower cats, they really do make a difference. Damien just putting some watts down now to get himself in position. He's definitely thinking about these bonus points. A little bit of a breather now as he's found his way to the front. Chris Davey is also keen. Chris O'Halloran right up the front. Chris Davey isn't happy behind him. We've got RB from BC Aero leading off. Trying to get the jump on him before this corner. Here goes Chris ramping it up. Moving to the front. I'm on the corner now. We'll have 250 from the banner. Here we go. Here goes Chris. 950, 980, up over 1,000 watts. Pushing up. Facing that lone breakaway leader now. In second. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Get him over the top. Chris O'Halloran. 20 points. Thank you very much. Looks like he was the only AHDR rider in that top 10. Brilliantly timed sprint. Waited off. Standing back in 17th, so he's held on to that front group. I don't think he got the points. Chris Davies in there as well. Now this is stretch the field. This is going to be interesting whether these riders are going to pump back together, whether we're going to see any splits. Jump back in with Mark. Pushing hard here to just stitch up all these gaps. Does look like we're going to come back together. We've got another 2 laps before the next sprint prime, but gee, that's going to hurt a few riders trying to chase back on here. You see what we see behind Mark. Real split happening. We've got a couple of riders caught on the wrong side of that. And Turner in a small group off the back here. That acceleration through the prime caused some real damage. have Nick also off the back. And up here in our swelling front group, we have Chris Davies, Chris O'Halloran, and Damien. 3 solid reps, and I think Mark Rushington is also in here. So from the team, yes, he's made the catch, sitting in nicely in the middle of this bunch now. Turning back around to that climb again, too. They come up fast. On this course, I think you get some recovery on that downhill, but as we saw there, just so much effort just to latch back on, get in position. There's really no time to take a breather. This could be a real race of attrition, particularly as these prime laps crank up the pace. So we've seen a big split there. 50 or so riders now at the front. Points are given out all the way down to 54. And then from there it's 2 points per rider. So the interesting points to be decided here in this front group. So 20 points at each prime banner, 2 more of those to go. 100 points on the line. So, the primes are interesting. Good if you can get them without cooking yourself. Maybe these early ones are the ones to go for, because that final sprint, that's the one. So the big points are chatting to Darren here. He's been lapped twice, I've been lapped once already. Sitting here and talking to all of you. A nice social bunch this lap. Everyone's feeling that effort from the sprint, and then to bring those groups back up together. It's going to be short-lived. We're going to be jockeying position again. Come around the bottom of this descent. 9 points on offer. We'll see whether Chris O'Halloran's got the legs to go for the back-to-back. Whether Damien was just foxing there, getting a good position and looking to chase some points. Whether he's thinking about that big 100-point ride at the end. Saw Damien fight on really well from top 10 last week. So can definitely go, all day, repeated efforts. Unlike someone who's commentating and got dropped. Darren and I just lamenting our very shoddy legs today. Both of us dropped very early on. Did not have what it took to hold this ferocious pacer in Duchy Estate. They are absolutely flying. I was counting on a bit more recovery than I got. Found myself just chasing the whole time. Really no chance to rest the legs. That little sprint to try and close the gap just put an end to me. Thankfully, we've got some better legs in the peloton for Team AHDR. Benefits of the shotgun approach, but sending about 8 riders to the race, I suppose. With 4 riders now representing this top 50 or so. We'll flip back now to Chris O'Halloran. We saw him time his sprint to perfection in the lap 3 prime. Reeled in the long range attacker about 30 metres ago. Took the jockeys. See how his legs are feeling. His heart rate seems to have recovered nicely. been sitting in. See if we can get a sense now whether he's thinking about a repeat effort or he's just going to sit in with the group through this banner. Maybe leave it to Damien or Chris to chase. Good points here. Just passing Chris now. Damien a little further up the field. Get into a nice position. This TFC rider. Stretching them out a little bit. Definitely some intensity at the front. Seen over 500 watts for Chris there, just finding position now, settling. A little bit cagey, we've got a lap rider ahead. The sprint is currently here in this group. Let's see who's going to kick it off. No one wants to go long range this lap. Come around the bend now, about 300 metres to go. Into that banner. It's 250 from the second start. Swinging around now. Looks like this is going to ramp it up to 1100 watts. Pushing up through the field. Can he get into that top 10 spot? Yes, he can. How many points is he going to get? We've got 2 in front of him now. Chris into third. Closing the second. Chris. Coming. We come through the banner. Oh, it's so close. Oh, from my angle, too hard to call. Depending on the timing, could have got the win. Definitely in the top 3. And some more points for the Team AHDR account. Team TFC prominent, as you'd expect, in their home series. And they're also covering this race. That'll be good to go back and watch later on. Now, what damage has that done? Up again, we've got Chris and Damien here in the sort of second group on the road. On the minimap, it looks like a little bit of a split, but on the road, these riders look like they're effectively together all the draft, and yes, that's going to come back together. For Chris and Damien, something with Mark Brassington, and he's at the back of this group as well. So I'm able to hold on to that pace, that acceleration through the prime banner. We will have a group of a little over 50 riders, maybe a little less, maybe 45. I don't know, 50 looks about right. Places are jumping all over the place. So under half of our field has managed to hold on. Get a little breather. Now it's a relative term. Still seeing some big effort being put in just to hold on to the frantic pace of this race. And again, they don't call it Mad Monday for nothing. It's a straight race that's been relentlessly quick. And I keep underestimating them and I keep getting dropped. Thankfully it's a long series and maybe I'll learn by the time we get to week 10 or whatever it is. There's still 4 AHDR riders represented in this front peloton. It's great news for those big points on the finish, which is where this will be decided. You know, the primes might dictate the minor placings, but if you don't feature prominently through the finish, then you've no chance. There is a big premium for finishing up near the pointy end of the field. Upward climb again. Lap number 6 of 9. Just one more sprint climb to go, and then another, say, recovery lap. Again, relative term. And then the big one, lap number 9. Will we see some long range attack? It's the kind of sprint that does reward a long range effort. Going uphill, it's harder to draft, easier to get a gap, and you've got to be able to hold it for 250 metre relatively flat sprint. Although from what I've seen of the sprint engines in this field are going to be really hard to hold off. This is going to be a frantic finish. See if our sprinting crew have got what it takes. We're seeing Damien, Chris, Mark keep their tinder dry through the prime so far, so hoping for a big finish and a bit of a kick to get over the top in this final 250 metres. There'll be the world change there. The first we're going to get through final prime as we go through the end of lap 6. There's going to be some tired legs coming around for lap number 7 up that climb, the acceleration through the sprint. We've seen it stretch, we've seen a few riders dropped. This crew, sort of front 50, got established after the prime on the first time, on lap 3, first time around. Haven't managed to hold on, but as we look back, we might have a little bit of attrition in the back of the field. We might see this now. Tired legs, riders have just been clinging on, not having to match those accelerations. And the final laps now dropping off the back. I expect to see a few after put the queue in the rack as we go up this hill. For the 8th time in this race, 3 more climbs to go. They do come up quickly. Let's have a sit in with the other AHDR riders. High heart rate all around. As you expect, even on the descent, it's not much of a recovery. Damien's been at 158, 57. And pretty strong. Chris just cruising down at 148. It really seems to have the engine today. It's contested the sprints. Never looked in any danger of losing position. Prominent again here as we head towards the base of this climb up to the 3rd and final prime on lap number 7 of this 9-lap race around Duchy Estate. I still have not had a good race around this one. I've always been just frantic, relentless affairs. Keep expecting that it's going to be a surge and then recover down the hill type of race, but just surges and stays stays hot. No recovery whatsoever. Swinging around now onto the steepest part of this climb. First 100 metres or so do pitch up nastily and very easy to get out of position here if you don't hit the bottom with some momentum. Seen a rider on time for a bike on the front. Hopefully that is just a glitch. Maybe they're on it before they jumped in 10. When I jumped in, and I was already in there. Not they've done a heck of a job holding on here. I suspect that's just a little visual glitch rather than a rider trying to TT his way around this race at this speed. It's a bit of stretch in the group now. Chris staying prominent up in the top 5. We do have some long range movement at the front of this lap by the look of it. Couple lap riders ahead. It's going to make me look like Chris is going to sit up here. Save the legs for the finale. Damien doing much the same. Just holding on to this group. Probably a smart choice in the circumstances. Chris as well, just holding the back of Mark. The rider's pushing up for those 3rd and final prime points. Just putting in a little bit of a dig here. Ooh, we might have snuck 10th there. Maybe one little bonus point. New PR for the sprint, which is interesting. Maybe really making the most of the draft there for Chris. And even though he went a lot later than the first 2 primes, looks like he might have been definitely quicker and set his fastest time for the day, so Looking good for Chris, hoping to see that from a good position on lap 9 for the finale. Good stretch again. It looks like we've lost Chris and Mark with that acceleration on lap number 7. We'll be down to Damien and Chris O'Halloran up in the front group. In whittled down now to about 40 who are going to contest these last 2 laps. A hot pace today, 24 kilometres done, just over half an hour. For a lumpy circuit like this, averaging up in the high 40s, that is work, as Nick would say. That is some serious, serious work. We'll arrive at Damien for a bit here. There's me in lap, who knows what, which time. I've just been spinning along here while I'm chatting to you all. We'll see if any of the riders do get popped up this 8th lap, penultimate lap. Got to be some tired legs here. Really have not eased at all. A little bit of stretch in the back of this peloton, but they're looking good. Back on the bright blue Tron, what I know him for. Did flirt with the yellow one, especially for a victory lap on the DRL Season 2 10 time trial. So pace kicks up again. Up the climb for the second last time. Damien pushing nearly 600 watts. Hold his position here, make sure he doesn't get caught on the wrong side of anything. Nothing's much is going to go wrong from up there in 3rd or 4th spot. Excellent racing there, just really smart. Get into a spot where you can't get into any trouble. See Chris's name just a few wheels back as well. So our top 2, AHDR, in an excellent spot to contest this final lap. And really try and elevate us up the standings on the TFC Race Monday series. They do a great job with their results, covering all the categories. Really enjoying this series. Thank you to Team TFC. A nice tight group over the crest and through this sprint section. Looks like all 40 riders managed to hold on up the hill. Now we're going to go back and sit in with Chris O'Halloran for lap number 9 of 9. He's there in the TV spotlight. He's been the strongest AHDR rider so far today. We know Damien has got a wicked sprint. He's just been holding, hasn't contested the primes, he's been disciplined. So he might just be ready to unleash something special on this final lap after 35 minutes of absolute tense racing so far. Hats off to all these riders. I've cooked at least 90 others. I've managed to hold on. I think we'll see some major stretch in this field going up this final climb as riders do position for that all-important final sprint. As I mentioned, we've had 3 primes so far with 20 points each, and 1 point for the 10th place rider. And now the big one, the first place rider will score 100 points individually and for their team and then it goes down there 95 and then 90, and all the way down to 54th spot. All these riders will score well today. It's just a matter of who is going to take it out. So get our camera where we want it. This final climb. Sitting here with Chris. What as he tries to manoeuvre into position to take this race down. Keeping a sharp eye up. Damien on his distinctive light blue Tron bike. I'm sure he'll be up at the pointy end of these. And that's go time now. Onto this steep pinch. Bound to be accelerations up here. If you get caught out here and get too far back, that will definitely be game over. Chris up over 500 watts. There's Damien moving up strongly through the field here. Let's keep an eye on the front of this race to see if there are any long range moves. I'm sitting with the AHDR boys. As they do make their way up through the field, picking up places nicely here. Over the steep pinch onto the flatter part of this course. Opportunity now to get some draft. Sit on wheels. Chris looms ominously up in the 5th spot. Damien, I'm sure, not far behind. Chris sits 3rd wheel now. What are these top 2 riders thinking? We've got about 350 metres to go, 400 metres to go. Now to this corner. Stretching out a little bit. No red numbers yet. Chris buys his time. Now he goes. From 4th wheel, Chris O'Halloran. We've seen him prominent on climb number 1. Climb number 2, he sat in, saved his legs. Anderson, Swedish lifters, closing in. Here goes Chris, up to 900 watts. Chris takes the lead. He's pushing to the banner. Anderson from Swedish lifters coming behind. We've got TFC and Perrin. Chris goes to the line. Oh! I think it's a 3rd place. Chris O'Halloran. Amazing race. Huge points. Damien not far behind. The two Aussie Hump Day riders have done an amazing job today to hold this frenetic pace at the front of the race. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that one. That was fast, fun racing from TFC Mad Monday Stage 3. This Ludoholics channel will be back again Saturday morning, Aussie time, Friday evening in Europe and the UK for the Racing Without Borders series. So thank you for watching. We'll see you there.